When I caught the Pope in that mosque, I realised maybe he's not a Catholic after all. And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Yes, welcome back, you criminal crackheads, to another delinquent episode of Radio Rufus. That's right, I, Rufus Rice, the straight-talking, straight-laced, boot-cut jean, blue-eye, good old boy of content, am joined by the horse-riding, MILF-riding, all-Irish, hurling team, roughhousing, rubbernecking, good lad, Aidan Rafferty. Say hello, Aidan, the producer of this show, who, as usual, wears a hat. We're back with another weekly rundown of the greatest and latest in news, sports, games. We've chopped and changed the segments over the years, and we've done that again today, but it's going to be a blast. It's going to be massively exciting. Have to say, I am a little bit tipsy this time around because I've just filmed a thing with Bambino Becky, and anything that she's involved in necessarily involves the presence of booze because she is a crippling alcoholic.
Yeah, you're getting shit-faced, or at least you're putting in the effort to get shit-faced.
Well, we had a sort of interview show where you have to have a drink every time, but the questions aren't long enough to finish the drinks. So I've had like a sip of 10 different drinks over the course of an hour.
Have you brought up this flawed aspect of her show to her?
Oh, I mean, it's clear. I mean, any idiot would film one episode of that and then immediately rework the format.
Yeah.
But I think it's episode 24. And she's done absolutely nothing to solve that issue. So I look forward to it. It's going to be a good episode. But it does mean that it's slightly harder to read the sheet under the bright light. It's a little bit fuzzy for me right now.
Yeah, a bit blurry on it.
Yeah, and I'm going to be giggling slightly more than usual. Maybe that's what the show needs.
Yeah, it could
a giggler. Maybe we could have a giggler.
That is what has been missing. A lot of the comments have been saying.
There's a lot of TV shows have a laugh track.
Matt, put it in a laugh track for this episode.
Yeah. But maybe we could have our own live laugh track. We could just have a giggler who sits there. And any bit that's like clearly a joke, even if it lands or if it doesn't, he can just sit there and sort of have a chuckle.
What if it's like really badly mistimed and you do the lead up to the joke and you just like, ha ha ha?
Well, that's the thing. Like, if we get him really high, which I imagine we'll need to, he'll just be giggling the whole time.
True.
So yeah,
I'll put that out on LinkedIn, see if we can get someone in for the next episode.
Yeah, the giggler.
Yeah,
I'm a professional giggler. Well, you don't have to pay them much.
No, they're not getting paid anything.
Morley's maybe. Morley's for an afternoon.
Yeah,
it's good rate for some. Children are so happy to work for absolutely whatever.
Yeah.
You promise a child a tiny amount of booze, they will go to the ends of the earth.
They will indeed.
Like 14-year-old boy, he would, I don't know, he'd run the length of Africa for a beer. He really would.
I'd do the same for a Morley's.
Yeah, you really would. Anyway, let's get into it with our first segment. Not news. And whilst mincing about like prime James Charles at the premiere of his own documentary, Elton John, Never Too Late, the singer-songwriter and human Zestfest allegedly wore his own kneecap around his neck as a necklace, topping off a particularly ghastly outfit in a career full of them. Oh, there's the picture. What are we thinking? Are we thinking kneecap or no kneecap?
I would say kneecap for this one, Rufus.
You can't... I know we play kneecap or no kneecap every week. This one might be the easiest round we've ever done.
Yeah.
But you can't say it is for sure. Like, that could be a sort of whale tooth.
Yeah, like if my fucking aunt wore that to christening, I wouldn't think it's a kneecap. But it's the fact that this fucker's wearing it, I believe it as soon as I saw the headline.
I don't even think it's the worst, it's the worst fashion choice in this outfit.
He's got my jacket.
yeah, he does have your jacket. We've lost all our clothes. Elton's been rummaging through the bins for our clothes. Yeah. Honestly, I think the shades might be the worst part of the whole thing.
Yeah, they're very fucking sort of squared off. It looks a bit strange.
Also, his neck looks like a scrotum.
It does. It does at this stage of the game.
Do you think, is he cosplaying a turkey? he's got that sort of thing going.
It's got the exact same sort of consistency as my ball bag.
Yeah. It's the same to the touch.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. You could play a game of cock or bollock with Elton's face.
How rich do you have to be where like a fucking diamond necklace doesn't do it for you anymore? And you're like, you know what? Need to stick a kneecap onto it.
Thing is, I think this one is also diamonds as well. Like it's kneecap in the middle.
Oh, it's diamond encrusted?
Yeah, because it looks pretty blingy.
Do you remember, did you ever see the story? It came out around the time Eminem was getting accused of homophobia for the 50th time in his career. And Elton John came out and said that for a wedding present, Eminem got him like diamond encrusted cock rings. Him and his husband. I'm surprised he didn't try and fashion this into a fucking cock ring. Round it off.
Well, you can't see it, it's under the collar, but he's wearing it as a choker. That's how fat his cock is. But yeah, the reason why people think this is his kneecap is because he gave an interview last month at the New York Film Festival, which it seems all this guy does is go to film festivals these days. There isn't much of me left. I don't have tonsils, adenoids, or an appendix, which I don't even know what adenoids are.
Also, everything he said, I don't think you need.
That's true, actually. Those are all the bits that you get an itis, and then after that,
you're grand.
You're good. I don't have a prostate. Doesn't surprise me. I don't have a right hip, or a left knee, or a right knee. The only thing left that's original is my left hip.
At least he still got that.
Yeah.
I think if I was him at this point, I'd just commit to seeing how many body parts I can turn to metal before dying.
You know the ship of Theseus?
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
No, I've no idea.
It was so. Stick with me.
Yeah.
This is going to be philosophy nerd tangent for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But the ship of Theseus is basically a principle, right? The ship of Theseus is a famous old Greek ship.
Yeah.
When it would go to battle, it would get damaged, and they come back and replace the damaged bits with new parts.
Oh, is it how
much? How much
of
of Elton John do you have to replace before he's no longer the same guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
heard of that theory, just not the name.
We're getting there.
I think it's pretty close.
He doesn't look like Elton John. He just looks like some guy.
What would you say is his most Elton John-like feature, other than his fucking ball bag turkey neck?
Yeah. I think I have to say the panel gap between the teeth. And the middle.
He does have gimpy old teeth in him, to be fair.
The thing is, I actually quite like Elton John and his music.
Yeah.
Not all of it. But like, I don't really know why we're being so mean to funny, I guess. It's funny to be mean to
Aside from like the obvious ones, which would you say is the worst body part to wear around your neck?
Okay, aside from the obvious one.
Yeah. Maybe like a toe?
It's weird for sure.
Or an ear, maybe. An ear's pretty fucked up.
When people went to war, they used to put a bit of hair in there, didn't they?
Yeah,
I always used to think that was a bit weird, like taking a snip of your wife's hair and taking it to war for some reason.
Yeah, it is a bit strange, alright.
A pube? Just one.
Just one pube?
One pube, yeah.
There's usually like a pube just sat in my t-shirt anyway. Chances are it's there.
You've always got it on.
Yeah.
Apparently, because of that interview and this picture, people think that he's like forming a sort of Jeffrey Dahmer style collection of body parts. Except they're all from him.
And Jeffrey Dahmer would have fucking loved Elton John. He'd done the work for him.
Yeah, exactly. He would have brought it home.
Yeah.
All that's left to do is cook and eat it.
And shag him.
Yeah, shag him. Yeah. Elton said in another interview, I do think about my mortality and how it will affect David. David, of course, being his husband, David Furnish, who looks like he's made out of wax.
Is there a photo? There is. He looks like fucking a before photo of Jimmy Carr's hair transplant.
Oh, that is so true.
Or like that puppet in the new Toy Story film.
He looks like Madame Tussauds. If they made a waxwork of David Furnish, it would look more like a human. I also wasn't aware they had... Where have these kids come from?
That's a good question.
Out of whose arse did these kids come? Because like they look a lot like Elton, both of them.
Yeah.
And they don't look like David.
Nah, David had nothing to do with these fuckers. That's all Elton.
Wait, he used to have... Hang on, no. The kids would be way older if they were with his wife.
Did he have a wife?
Yeah, he had a wife in the 70s.
He done like a Schofield? Well, he
pulled a
technically Schofield done a John.
Schofield did a John, yeah. Yeah. No, he had a wife and everything. And I feel like he had kids, but obviously those kids would be like 50 now. So I don't know where he's stolen these 2 toddlers from, but
Stolen.
I don't know. Who
You know,
are they?
I worked at ITV the time that stuff with Philip Schofield came out.
Yeah.
And on like the Friday I left, and everywhere around the building was like plastered with fucking paintings, posters, murals and stuff. And the elevator was just a massive painting of his face basically. And I came in on the Monday morning and it was all gone. I think he got outed as a nonce on the Friday.
Why do they have murals?
Just because he was like the head of the fucking face of ITV.
Still weird though.
Yeah, it is strange.
Like, I watch football, but I wouldn't have sort of Gary Lineker on the side of my house.
Match of the day, I probably would though.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But I guess all that's left to say on this story is I hope it is his kneecap, because that's hilarious. And
Hope it's not one of the children's kneecap, because it did look small.
that is true. That is true. They are shorter than the regularly sized adults.
How bored does he have to get, and how many body parts does he have to lose before he starts looking at the weigh-ins and thinking, fuck, he's next?
True. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I have to say, in this picture, David Furnish also does look like one of the celebrity dancers on Strictly who got recently outed for bullying. You know what I mean? He looks flamboyant. He looks like a flamenco legend in this picture. He actually looks quite Spanish, I think. But anyway, let's move on. A Dutch museum, our next story, has fished an artwork out of a bin after a well-meaning mechanic accidentally threw it in the recycling. The piece, and I hate when art is like this.
Yeah.
The piece of art is literally 2 dented tinnies, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. So if you're watching, you can see it's literally 2 tin cans, 2 beer tins,
and they're on the fucking floor.
on the floor
Yeah.
in the corner of a room, right? But the artwork is entitled "All the Good Times We Spent Together," which is like, it's not. What do you mean? That's too.
It's just, that is rubbish.
Yeah. It's like when I went to the Tate Modern,
Yeah.
and this is like, it's the problem you have with a lot of modern art, is it's becoming less and less an actual artwork.
Yeah.
I went to the Tate Modern, and one of the exhibits was like a bunch of photos this guy had taken. There are like 5 just of his penis, like his own penis, and the little description next to it said, "These have a phallic resonance," which I liked as a phrase. But it's also like, of course they do. It's a picture of penis.
I would love for someone taking the piss to see how far they can push that, just submitting something that is clearly fucking bullshit. Because every
No, they've done it. Like, you go there, it's just like a ruler stuck on a wall.
Yeah. If I see these, I'm not fucking bending down to inspect it and have a look at the art. I'm putting my fucking foot through it and seeing how much airtime I can get in them.
That's
Especially
true.
the way that one's sitting up.
I'm assuming some junkie has left him behind.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Someone's broke into the museum for their fucking lunch break.
It's probably like lads on a stag do,
Yeah.
getting really drunk and going
We're
around.
like, oh, we'll go to a museum.
yeah,
for a laugh.
go to the museum for a laugh. So I can only assume this is some kind of attempt to be sort of edgy or somehow circumvent like artistic conventions. So they're on the floor there, but originally it says in the article they were displayed in a lift. And someone with an unpronounceable Dutch name, like genuinely, I don't know how you pronounce this first name. Dutch people, do write in FROUK J E.
Lost me.
Yeah, I know.
Fruktje.
Fruit G Budding, a museum spokesperson, said, "We try to surprise the visitor at all times
Putting a few tins in
by
it.
putting a few tins in the lift." Yeah.
The thing that pisses me off about this type of thing, and just like modern art in general, there'd be some pretentious prick in a pair of jeans that are way too baggy for them.
Yeah.
That's got like their fucking keys locked to their waistband. That'd be like, I can really see what the artist was going
Taking
through
it
with
in.
this one.
They always pace around taking it in.
Yeah.
You know, let's have a look at this piece in the round. Right,
Fuck off, you pretentious prick.
So basically, some mechanic who was working at the museum found him, chucked him in a bin, and then they were like, "Oh shit, where's the priceless artwork gone?" So they found them in a bin bag. Fortunately, they recovered because like that's going straight to the scrap heap, right?
Yeah.
We have now put the work in a more traditional place on a plinth so it can rest after its adventure. And the spokesperson said to the mechanic who binned the art, "No hard feelings."
Yeah. You can't blame him.
You can't.
Anyone would have done the same.
Anyone would have done it. He's helping you out by cleaning up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it looks like shit, most people are going to assume that it actually is shit and they're going to bin it.
Yeah. They haven't learned from their mistakes, though, because the museum still wants to relocate the cans to another, quote, challenging place. With this in mind, the cans are unlikely to stay on their traditional plinth for long. We need to think hard about a careful pace to put them next. How about lob them in the canal?
A fucking landfill somewhere.
Yeah, landfill.
Yeah.
You can pop them in the canal. They'll just float out to sea. And you won't have to look at them ever again. This is not an isolated incident either. A lot of things like this have happened in galleries and museums. So in 2023, not sure if you remember this, but a man who claimed to be hungry ate a banana that had been taped to a wall as part of an artwork.
If it's taped to a wall, that's when you know, like,
it's a perfect height as well. You can just reach out and grab it. Also, there was a sculpture that looked a bit like a ladder in Germany.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was worth 690 grand. Which, like, it's funny that it's more expensive to get on that ladder than the property ladder, which is insane.
Yeah.
And a cleaner thought it was like a ladder that needed a wash and just scrubbed it down. Oh, fuck. A priceless artwork.
See, to be fair, I don't mind this one. Anyone would throw it out, but that cleaner's doing too much. Like, that's not a part of the job description.
Mate. Yeah. So,
a fucking busybody.
So, yeah. Well, the reason all that artwork is so pricey is just purely for money laundering purposes.
Reckon, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, Damien Hirst is a good example. You know him, the artist?
Nope.
Fairly contemporary British artist.
Yeah,
Basically, he did that famous artwork where, like, it's like a shark chopped into bits and then all put in a tank
Right,
next to
okay.
each other, and like half a cow in a. So, you seen this?
Let me get it up.
Yeah. So it's a shark in a tank just chopped into bits.
Yeah.
And it's just like chilling there or whatever. And it's called something stupid like the physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone living.
Sounds like a Kaiser Chiefs album.
It does, yeah, doesn't it? Like a Smith's B-side. And he makes these silly artworks, and it's because when he was like in his 20s or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, Charles Saatchi, the marketing executive, used to be married to that absolute MILF, Nigella Lawson.
I know her.
Yeah.
Don't know the other one.
So he was in her husband, used to be her husband.
Yeah.
And they're, you know, one of the wealthiest men in England, got a marketing agency or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, what you do is he was like, oh, I'll pay you £1 million for this artwork. Then you get an appraisal friend to value it at like £10 million or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have an asset that's worth £10 million, but you don't have any cash on you. So they can't tax it at all.
Right, okay.
So you build up an enormous portfolio of expensive assets
Hmm.
with very little money. And it's just a nice little scheme. It works for the artist, they get paid for their work. It works for you can hide those assets away, ship them off to Switzerland. The appraiser gets their money. Everyone just gets richer. It's great.
Have you looked into this before?
I have, yeah. I tried investing in artwork when I was in uni. Except I couldn't, they wouldn't even let me open an account because I didn't have enough money to put in it. Yeah. It was one of
Do
them.
you remember that time, a few episodes where you tried to claim that you're a normal person? Now you're telling us you were trying to invest in artwork at the age of 18.
Well, I didn't like actually do it. I wasn't like ordering Picassos to my uni flat.
Do you know what my alternative was? Because I sold sweets in school and made like a lot of money for the time. Whenever I went to uni, I was thinking how I can scale this up, and you could get 6-litre bottles of vodka for like 50 quid wholesale. So I was going to start selling them after hours. Just people would come round to the house for like 25 quid a go. Because whenever off license is closed, people would spend fucking anything on vodka.
Yeah.
But I got highly advised against it.
What? What's wrong with that?
Well, it's pretty illegal, and there's also a lot of people around there that would rat you out. Like,
it's illegal, but like,
yeah,
is it unethical? I don't know.
And I don't give a fuck about the ethics side of things. Yeah.
What's the problem? I mean, The Wolf of Wall Street, that stuff's illegal, but that film is awesome. So,
I also feel like I probably would end up just drinking half of it.
yeah, don't get high on your own supply. It's
Yeah,
like
I
Scarface.
absolutely would have.
You would be like Scarface.
Yeah.
You become the kingpin at
The kingpin, the Asian
King- yes, the leader of the Chinese government, King Ping. You would be the kingpin of it, and then drink yourself into like stupor, and a guy would come along and steal it all.
Yeah.
You lose your empire.
The worst like I have ever felt in my life was after a week in uni where we done this thing just to try and get people in the drink whenever we came back up. We'd do a Monday club. Everyone would have a house party. I would drink like, it used to take me like a litre bottle
A
of
Monday
vodka.
club.
Yeah, that's what it was deemed. But it was just
a house party on a Monday.
yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, right, we'll do
I
this.
like Monday club though. You sort of rebranded
It
it.
felt official.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
we were like Tuesday club, Wednesday club.
Right.
And it got to Friday.
Sometimes this club just never ends.
But I got to Friday, and Monday to Friday I drank a litre bottle of vodka every single night. And on the Saturday I was like, right, I've got my cousin's Holy Communion, which is something they make whenever they're like 6.
Oh mate, Jesus was not happy about that one.
But I was thinking like, right, I'll have a break from it. I'll chill out Sunday and I'll not have touched drink all weekend.
And then you could be back for next Monday.
Yeah, it would have been perfect. It got to like 10 o'clock and all the children went to bed, and my uncle pulled out a bottle of vodka, and there was a slushy machine that the children had been using. I poured it straight into the slushy machine and was just
That's
like making
awesome.
slushy vodkas for the rest of the night. And then
I like how you approach drinking like a 9 to 5. I was like, well, I'm going to take the weekend off. Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I'm
trying
not
to.
a workaholic.
Because it's meant to be working in Tesco on the Sunday. So I had 6 days in a row.
That's bad because they have booze in Tesco as well, so
Yeah.
you could just drink.
Which, this is how it ends. I was in the middle of a shift and I just got to the fucking alcohol aisle. And this 6 days in the drink, one of the items that I was trying to get wasn't there. The replacement wasn't there. And I remember just having a mental breakdown and being like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
I had the worst case of
By the way-
booze blues I've ever had.
Tesco have really started overstepping it with the substitutions.
Yeah.
Like, I had a Tesco order the other day, and they didn't have like any of the sauces that I wanted, so they just replaced them with other sauces. That's not
the same thing,
That's not how it works. But they don't go like other brands of the same sauce.
Nah.
They go the same brand, a different sauce of the same brand.
Yeah.
What is that? I've just got loads
Fucked.
I've got litres and litres of plum sauce I'm never going to use, mate.
There's one time my mum ordered nappies and they didn't have any left, so they
Plum
sent her
sauce?
washing powder. Just as if she's just going to clean them, reuse them.
It's always plum sauce with me. Broccoli, plum sauce.
I don't even know what that is.
You can have a guess.
Yeah, but is it a fucking... What do you have it with?
Asian food.
Right, okay, that would explain it.
Yeah.
My Asian food knowledge starts and ends with chicken curries.
Yeah, chips is your second.
Yeah,
is
with
one.
with curry, that would make it authentically Asian.
Right, yeah. Let's move on to our next story then. And the team scouring the ocean trying to find the remnants of Malaysia Flight 370 could take some notes from a random woman in Oakland, because she has found her missing uncle more than 70 years after he was abducted. That is awesome.
That is mental.
So, great name, by the way, this guy. Louis Albino.
Is he a pale man?
He's Mexican. He's got like an ironic name. Yeah. So he was only 6 when he was kidnapped in a park in the Bay Area of California in 1951. Basically, a woman lured him away with the promise of candy before smuggling him back to the East Coast and then being raised by a different couple as though he were their son. Right. Which is like, that's no way. That's the easiest way to go about something like this.
Yeah.
You can adopt a child.
I don't know.
Like near where you live. You don't have to steal one from another state.
Yeah.
And if you were going to steal one, just like one near you, or I guess. I guess you might get caught then.
Yeah, it's easier to get away with it. Thankfully, I never really had to deal with this sort of thing growing up in like the fucking rural asshole of Ireland. Like there was no one doing that.
Yeah.
But if someone had offered me like a pack of fruit pastels to get into the back of the van, I'm going 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, but you'd be happy to leave them behind, whereas he didn't want to go.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, he got raised basically as a different guy from the age of 6 onwards.
Yeah.
Whilst he was living a second life out there, his mum actually died in 2005.
Fuck. She never got to see the...
No. So she always thought that he was... Obviously, if you see those stories in the news, child abducted, whatever, you're like, this guy's dead. He's swimming in the sea.
Yeah, in a suitcase somewhere.
Yeah. But she never gave up hope. She thought he was alive. He's out there somewhere. Yeah. Which usually, when your mum is convinced of something, it's like, mum, come on.
Yeah, come on.
But she was actually right. At the time, there was a huge investigation, so they searched San Francisco Bay, all the waterways, interrogated his brother, who said a woman with a bandana had taken him.
Right.
Which, like, a bandana in 1951.
That's pretty mad.
Yeah, it's like
also, a woman wearing it?
Woman wearing a bandana.
Oh, I suppose, actually, no, that looks like, you know, like the rockabilly type You always see that in those posters.
Yeah, but this was kind of like before that.
Yeah.
This is just after the war. Like, that's kind of... Wearing a bandana is kind of edgy.
Yeah. You can't really fault the dedication of the...
She's probably showing a bit of ankle. You know what I mean?
She was like the town fucking bimbo because the ankles were out.
She's moving with the times.
Yeah.
Anyway, just for fun, in 2020, 63-year-old Alita... Another difficult one. Another tricky sort of foreign name. She took an ancestry test which showed a 22% match with a bloke she didn't know, which I didn't know that was how the test worked.
Yeah, neither did I think she's got some sort of Ancestry.com DLC.
Yeah, she's got the expansion pack.
Yeah,
she's the day one, the battle pass. But I'm convinced that ancestry stuff is part of an attempt to build like a complete human DNA database from which to build the clone army.
It is scary whenever you think about it, because
why do you need all that information?
Yeah, you think surely the name would be enough.
Yeah, my grandpa kind of took it upon himself. He did like a DIY ancestry test. He didn't like do the science, but he did the research, and then he wrote a book about our family. So fortunately, I don't need to.
Do you know much, like how far back?
Like 6 generations.
What was it? Was it always English? Was there anything?
Well, we lived in India for like 100 years, so my family were colonizers.
Yeah,
we tried to convert.
It's not surprising.
We tried to convert the local people to Christianity.
Yeah,
and the Rice Church in India still exists. It's still there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we were up to, just like preaching the word of the Lord out in the colonies, and then we moved back, and then it became its own country or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great food though. They were scranning for like. Yeah. They were eating good.
How long do you think you would look for a family member before you're like, fuck this?
I wouldn't even try. Like, I think that's the problem. If I did this investigation, I'd see that match and I was like, actually, fuck him.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's the same problem if I was in that film Home Alone.
Yeah.
And like, I realised I'd left my kid, right? And I'd be like, you know what? Fuck him.
Yeah, especially they've got like 10 other ones in that film.
Yeah, they've got way too many kids. Yeah.
If you had the right amount, you wouldn't have forgot about one.
That is true, yeah. You don't need it. They give it to this woman.
What happens though? Like, it's been how many years was it? 70 years odd?
Yeah. So basically, they had pictures of him when he was a kid.
Yeah.
They had his childhood photos. She's got this like weird ancestry evidence. And then they opened a missing persons investigation off the back of this. The FBI got involved, which I feel like they got better things to do.
Yeah, surely that should be busier than this.
Like, Trump has almost assassinated twice, and you guys did nothing about that. You know what I mean?
At that stage, you're basically strangers, though. Like, what way does that go? Do you just shake hands?
Yeah, so they found him. They reunited him with his family. He met his long-lost brother and his sister.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know you.
Are the people still alive that... I suppose it wasn't the person that abducted him that was raising him?
No.
But the people that were raising him obviously knew he wasn't.
Well, he's like 70-something now, so I guess those people have died.
Yeah.
But like, he's lived a full life in between. So he served in the Vietnam War. He's a veteran. He's had a full career as a firefighter. He's now retired. And then you're meeting like 2 random... Does he have any memory of that?
Probably not.
If I was him, I'd be like...
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. He has his own family. He's got his own kids and his own wife and stuff. That's crazy that his own kids are like, they're older than us by a long shot.
Yeah, probably 20 odd years.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, they found him and they reunited him with his family, whether he likes it or not. Okay, let's move on to our next segment though. Rufus Reacts. This is where Aidan shows me a juicy clip and I have a look at it for the first time. I've got absolutely no idea what this is. Do you want to waffle about it, Aidan, or are we just going to get into it?
So it's basically about sex robots becoming a real thing.
Okay.
And this is what they look like.
I've been waiting for this advancement in technology for a while.
Through that system, you can connect the AI that you've created in the app to the robot and carry on the conversation with her that way.
It looks like your average Instagram model.
And you hit chat, she just comes to life.
Good, you came back so fast, baby.
I wasn't expecting that accent.
Why the fuck is she Scottish?
Seems like an eternity.
They've got an army of them in the back.
That was the last thing. Can you replay that clip? Sorry, I wasn't expecting it to be. Is it Scottish?
It sounds it, doesn't it?
You hit chat. No, she just comes to life.
Could you came back so fast, baby?
It sounds like fucking Professor McGonagall.
Balamory. What's the story in Balamory? I'd like to know.
You know what's mental? Like in the back, they're pretty advanced with it. You can choose colours and everything, and heights, and so many different.
So I can have whatever race I want.
Yeah.
Wait, go. I would like to hear what it says without laughing at the robot for being Scottish. Let's have a laugh.
With her that way. Once you've got that loaded and you hit
I like
chat,
that it has an app.
no, she just comes to life.
Could you came back so fast, baby? I'm glad you came back that fast. Wow, baby.
You know what they're doing?
To be honest, I've met some people with a worse command of the English language than that.
100%. But did you hear her? She's like, I'm glad you came back so fast, baby. They're trying to like really not sexualize it, but people are cutting out that back.
Oh, so is this like... Is it like a robot girlfriend or
It must be.
right?
Do you reckon you'll
So
ever go?
So it wants me to form a meaningful emotional bond with this thing.
I reckon you
I
just
can't-
stick it in the cupboard
It's
after.
Scottish. Scottish, I can't do it.
Do you reckon you'll ever go on another date once these come into the shops?
Do you have to get a new one every year like a phone? Does it?
I think there's a warranty.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. In case you break it.
Yeah, and I wonder, do they do like iOS updates?
That's what I mean.
like new suck job technique unlocked.
Yeah, and then like you laugh at someone for having an old one. Like comes with a new charger. You know, that's how they get you, the new charger every year.
Yeah, I imagine like the main sort of demographic for stuff like this it'll always be like middle-aged married men. But
Really?
I would say so. 'Cause
Married man. I feel like it would be sort of, coders.
Yeah. How big of a virgin do you have to be to found this company, by the way?
That's true. I mean, this guy does look like a bit of a virgin.
Yeah. It reminds me of Gok Wan a little bit at a glance. Obviously, minus the hair.
I mean, he's not even the same race. That's Gokwan. He's not even close.
Yeah, I will say I have awful eyesight and I'm just making out like a silhouette, and that's reminding me of him.
Yeah, I think he does look worse because he's next to the sex bot.
Yeah.
Like, if I just saw him in the wild, I wouldn't assume he's a virgin, but he looks like a virgin next to that thing. And that's the thing. Like, you can't take it out in public.
Yeah,
You can't-
They're not as inconspicuous as like a fucking flashlight.
Yeah.
You can't put this in the bottom of a sock drawer after using it.
No. I thought you were implying you were taking the flashlight with you wherever you go
Oh, no.
out in public.
No.
To, like, Pret, for example.
Just in the back pocket.
But, like, I feel like you can't take it for dinner. It's going to turn some heads.
Yeah.
And imagine, like, walking it through the restaurant.
And what happens if it starts to get like its own mind and puts like an order in for a really expensive steak? Like, you're not fucking getting that.
I would like the haggis. It's just, it's also really Scottish as well.
It is scarily realistic looking though.
I don't
Like,
know.
whenever people put
Yeah.
like an Instagram filter on to look like this.
It looks like an average of every girl I've ever slept with.
Yeah.
All the same sort of person
Yeah.
merging into one. Yeah. It's
Do
good
you
stuff.
think these things will eventually gain their own conscience and take over?
They'd be indistinguishable from some people that I know. I think we could replace, the Instagram influencer could easily be replaced by one of these robots
Yeah,
just doing the same
true.
job.
A lot better at brand deals and stuff too.
Yeah, because they'll just say what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, the future, I think I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it. I am worried about it sort of malfunctioning and chopping my knob off while I'm in there.
Yeah, true. That's
Like,
one
what
thing
if
you have to worry
all the
about.
metal sort of collapses in and just sort of scythes it off?
Do you reckon people will be like sticking this in their Christmas list instead of like the PS6?
It's a big present.
Yeah. I wonder how much this is going to
It's like, it's a phone or a laptop. You're getting that and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big present for sure.
Yeah, you get this in like a selection box maybe.
Right, moving on to our sports segment now. Snatch of the day coming at you, and over to the Conkers World Championship. One of those games, Conkers, obviously your dad tells you he played it when he was a kid.
Yeah.
But like, you don't really believe it. It's a bit like when he tells you about doing the paper round and he makes it sound like he's gone down the mines.
Yeah, or
It's
like
like, mate,
whenever we complain about having to take a bus and they talk about how they had to walk 3 miles in their bare feet to get like bread for the day.
yeah, and it's uphill both ways.
Yeah.
It's not even possible. So I don't actually believe that anyone like really plays Conkers, and I've certainly never played Conkers because I
The
live.
fuck's doing that?
Yeah, because we had an Xbox. So what am I doing?
I would say our generation is much more likely to play a Conquer Simulator.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
You'd get involved with that.
Oh, definitely.
You know, I played a couple
Looks
weeks ago
right.
for like 3 hours. Power Wash Simulator. It
Oh,
was a
really?
fucking great Saturday.
But you didn't do it. You didn't. You would draw the line at power washing though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mixed manual labor.
Once I unlocked like the pressure nozzle, I was like, right, I'm getting too involved in this.
Oh, really?
I need to go outside.
Like going into the upgrades.
Yeah.
But like Clash of Clans.
Yeah.
Those guys who are really into Clash of Clans, like they upgrade one thing, and I'm like, oh mate, it's cool. How long does that take? And it's like it takes them 24 days to
Yeah.
like upgrade the
town hall,
to
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. It's like they'll be sitting there for a month waiting for it to upgrade. It's
There's
insane.
definitely a direct correlation between the level of your town hall and how much women you're getting in school.
a negative correlation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, as far as I know, the sport of conkers involves putting a hole in a conker, putting a string on it, and then sort of whipping it around and trying to smash the other person's conker. But with your conker, the rules aren't important. What is important are the shocking allegations surrounding 82-year-old David Jakins, the winner of this year's event, after he was found with a spray-painted ball of steel in his pocket, following his stunning win, which, by the way, is his first win after competing every year since 1977.
Fuck, man.
82 years of age.
Mental. That's the same year the first Star Wars came out.
Yeah,
That's how long
yes,
he's been competing.
Yeah. He might have entered this competition before Star Wars hit,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Surely after that many years, you would at least fluke a win. There'd be some year where the fucking
Nobody
main
turns
man,
up.
Yeah.
It just gets
It's rained off.
get a
or someone has an
walkover. Yeah,
injury,
yeah. Yeah.
That is crazy.
But no, the veteran player, he's known as King Conker, which like you can't call him the king if he's never won the
Yeah,
tournament.
what the fuck's that about?
It's like when people say that, like, what's a good one?
Like Steven Gerrard's the best.
Or
ever
like
Premier
Arsene
League
Wenger's a
midfielder.
good manager, but he never won the Champions League. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like my example better.
Yeah, of course you do. By the way, this is one rule I would definitely put in place to improve football. You have to support your local team.
What if you don't have a local team?
You do have a local team.
Just the closest possible team to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your local team?
There's no professional ones.
There are in Ireland.
Yeah. Well, maybe
Shamrock Rovers.
Dungannon Swifts.
Yeah, Dungannon Swifts. There you go.
Yeah.
That's your new team. You can't support Arsenal anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sick
yeah.
of all these people just turning up and just supporting either one of 4 teams: United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Those are the only teams anyone supports.
City and Chelsea is the worst for me because well, most people they support it because like their dad, their grandfather supported it, but no one supported those fucking teams.
Yeah, they were like just crap teams, and they're now soulless clubs with no real history.
Yeah.
Supported by blood money,
Yeah.
basically.
Some people though that say that, like the old fuckers that I see in the Emirates that doesn't even know 5 of the players on the pitch that just happens to have a season ticket. I'm providing more for the club than they are, just because they grew up down the fucking road.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be great if you were a Dungannon Swifts fan.
I don't know if it would.
It doesn't sound like a real team.
Yeah.
But it just pisses me off. You go to places, you go to Buckinghamshire, and everyone supports Man U, and it's like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah.
I support my local team.
I think it's a bigger case in England because it's there is enough clubs, there's enough good professional clubs
Yeah.
to go round.
Yeah, easily.
And it's all like, I couldn't watch.
You don't have to support a Premier League team, guys. You can still watch the Premier League.
Yeah. Like back home, like that football isn't televised. You can't watch it. You're either at the stadium or...
Yeah, but you got to be a hardcore. You got to go and watch it.
Yeah. And it was the same, it wouldn't let me watch fucking matches in the Irish League because technically I was in the UK.
Oh, right. That's so petty, isn't it?
Yeah, you fuckers.
But you just arbitrarily became an Arsenal fan. A glory hunter, maybe, someone say.
I fucking watched Arsenal be absolutely shite for about 12 years, but not winning anything.
Why are you a fan of that team?
My dad liked them.
Yeah. Why is he a fan of that team?
His dad liked them.
Yeah, well, there we go. But none of you are from Arsenal.
Yeah.
You weren't kicking about Highbury in the 1800s, mate, were you?
I don't think so. We were trying to find spuds.
Yeah, exactly. You're lucky you didn't get shipped off to America. You would have been an American like everybody else. But yeah, it does piss you off when someone is like, when they live in Fulham and they support City.
Yeah.
It's like, mate, the team is there.
Yeah, you're making this claim as a Brighton fan 2 months ago.
I
didn't know that Shane Duffy no longer played for Brighton.
Yeah,
left like fucking 3 years ago.
Yeah, but that's just like, I still don't violate the rule.
Yeah.
I support my local team. I just don't actually support them.
Did you have a local whenever you were abroad? Anyone that you followed?
Yeah, like Singapore Tigers.
Is that a real team?
No. just
It sounds like you believe that.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I don't know how we got onto that, but King Conker recorded several victories in which he destroyed another player's conker with the first hit.
It sounds like a porn name, by the way.
King Conker.
Yeah.
Lily Phillips and King Conker. So on the front page.
Yeah.
In a Tesla.
Unless King Conker's an 18-year-old with a fucking uni ID, she won't be interested.
For anyone who doesn't get that reference, I think her and another girl ran through about 1,000 Uni of Knots freshers.
That is
in a couple of weeks, and there's a great video of all their shoes lined up.
Everyone has a friend that would be in that queue. Like, remember last week?
You have to agree to film it, though. That's the main problem. Yeah.
But I think they blur your face, don't they?
Still, though.
Yeah.
You know, like, deep down, you feel dirty. Deep down, you feel wrong.
Do you remember last week whenever Matt couldn't make the recording?
Oh, yeah. You think he was busy and not?
Yeah, I saw his shoes in that video.
Day trip. Yeah. Anyway, so some suspicious wins here. He might have destroyed the other player's conker with a single hit a couple of times, which is suspicious because it is just a sort of... Yeah, it's just a conker. Yeah. When his steel nut was found, he denied cheating, saying he had the steel nut on him for humour value.
That old chestnut.
Oh! He's prepared a joke.
I know he loved that.
That's an awesome joke. Wow. I mean, that's brilliant.
I appreciate that.
I can't believe I didn't think of that. I didn't have that
fucking plate.
I didn't have that written down. But what's funny about that? He has the steel nut on him for humour value. What is it just like...
It's not as if you're like pulling a coin behind someone's ear.
Yeah, niche humour, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think fucking Elton John's kneecap could have took out a few conkers?
Oh no, that thing's getting turned to dust by one. Yeah. He's not getting out the first round with that. So his opponent in the final, Alistair Johnson Ferguson, said he raised concerns after his conker disintegrated in one hit. So it was a one-hit final. It's like an underwhelming boxing match.
Yeah.
He said that just doesn't happen. So the fake steel conker was painted brown and found in his pocket. David Jenkins categorically denies using the metal nut and said he had it with him for a laugh. Thing is, conflict of interest here. He's also an organizer of the championships.
Nah,
he helps
dodgy.
He helps prepare the conkers that all the players use. And there are further allegations that they take it so seriously. He marked the strings to highlight the hard nuts. He's doping. He's cheating. He's doping.
If it got to 40 years without a win, I think I'd stoop to this.
Yeah. It's so stupid though. So like, you have to choose one out of a bag every round before you start.
Yeah.
So he's put the secret signal on it, and he's whipped out the hardest nut in the competition. Yeah. So he denies those allegations as well. The chairman of the organising committee said the steel conker was indistinguishable from a real one. The weight, the only giveaway. They're now doing an internal investigation, watching back the footage from the final to see if anything dodgy went. I feel like you could have done the bait and switch with the conker in the pocket. Easy enough.
They need to replace the fucking Premier League VAR panel with these lads.
Yeah. They're take it seriously. Tournament organiser Sinjin Burlett told Sky's Kay Burley, who's by the way is like a really serious broadcast journalist. You look up pieces that she's done, and she's like out in Afghanistan interviewing military leaders and all this sort of stuff. And now she's having to cover the Conga Championship.
Yeah. She definitely like refused to sleep with the boss. And he's like, right, you're on Conkers this week.
You're on Conkers, yeah. Whilst Mr. Jenkins put his hand in the pocket at the end of the match and indeed threw a conker from a different pocket into the crowd. He was closely watched by 4 judges, which I just feel like you don't need that many judges for this competition. It looks
Clearly you fucking do.
It looks like it was watertight, absolutely impossible for him to cheat. And we have other testimony that indicates innocence. What? It's in a trial of O.J. Simpson.
It's all his fucking friends that he's at like bingo with on the weekends, just backing him up.
Crazy. And then what's also fun is there's a men's competition, women's competition, which like you definitely don't need for something like this because it makes no difference.
Yeah.
But then the winners of that play each other in a grand final, and he lost. He lost.
That's
50 years. 50 years of hurt never stopped me dreaming. To Kelsey Bunchbuck, who is not only an American, so he lost on home soil to an American, but she only started playing last year.
That's bound to sting. 40 years of practice and you're getting beat by some fucking random yank in her like rookie year, basically.
Yeah, his debut season.
Yeah,
just made it to the league, and she crushed him in the final. So yeah, speaking of crush, let's move on to our next segment. You're a ranker. The more questionable, the better. Aidan, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Mother Teresa. The main reason is I just feel like her reputable moral compass would result in like a very loyal and caring partner.
She's kind of clap though.
I'm not basing it on that.
Okay, right.
None of my answers are based on that.
Okay, yeah.
It's based on what they can do for me in different ways.
Right.
I just feel like she'd be very attentive.
Okay. Are you worried about her sort of hightailing it to India to look after some kids when you really need her?
Yeah, there's always that sort of possibility.
Yeah.
But I think she would leave me a more well-rounded person.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it would piss you off if you're like, oh, it was date night and you came home and she's like, sorry, I'm in Hyderabad, I'm in an orphanage.
Yeah.
I am busy.
All the tea towels we go missing as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be a problem.
What's your number 3?
She'd be nicking stuff from around the house and giving it to the kids. You'd be like, no, I needed that.
Yeah.
Go home, there's nothing in the fridge.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saving that.
I bought a fucking twin pack of Jammy Dodgers and they're gone. What the fuck's going on?
The kids needed them more.
Yeah. And also, would you still call her Mother Teresa if you were shagging her?
Mummy Teresa.
Mummy Teresa?
Yeah, I think so.
I wonder would she have that kind of kink?
I don't think she had a lot of sex.
Yeah, that's about to change.
My number 3 is LaLa.
I have no idea who that is.
Teletubbies. LaLa.
I thought that was like some fucking niche English celebrity.
LaLa.
Yeah.
No, you know LaLa.
Yeah, I know LaLa now that you speak of
One
her.
of the big 4.
Yeah.
Tinky Winky, Dipsy and Poe.
I always thought Tinky Winky was a bit of a fucking scumbag.
What does that mean?
I never had a good feeling about him whenever I was watching it back in the day.
Dodgy bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think LaLa's the sexiest one by a mile.
Let me get up a photo. What colour is LaLa? Is LaLa yellow?
Yellow. Oh, yeah.
Not that one. That's like...
What do you mean? That is...
that's a better photo. You can see the curves.
Shut up. Maybe she's mogging a little bit because she is surrounded by people uglier than her.
Yeah.
But man, she looks good. And like, it was an awakening for me. It's a throwback one for me.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of nostalgia purpose.
How many pints before you sit in this antenna? 3.
Look, it's got a gooch tickler behind it as well. That's what's awesome about it. Yeah. That's great. A couple of pints. That's all I need.
Yeah. Not much more.
Your number 2?
My number 4 is... I don't know what the fuck I just
Did you say
said.
numero uno? There for so you go full
I think it just malfunctioned.
full Espanol there.
The fucking Spaniard.
Yeah.
My number 2 was Mary Berry.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, my thinking is she maybe throw you on like a lasagna after, or like a banoffee.
My only problem with this is I actually don't think it's that questionable because like young Berry in a prime, pomp and circumstance.
I don't know young Berry. I'm only familiar with like pensioner, like 2014 Bake Off Berry.
Yeah, I mean some would consider that a second prime.
Yeah, she had a second wind.
Rediscovered the form.
Yeah.
The
main reason is because I just started watching Bake Off recently, and your new woman, what do you call her?
Well, your girlfriend definitely forced you to do that.
100%.
Yeah.
First couple episodes, I was like, this is fucking shit.
Yeah,
I got like 6 episodes deep, and I was like, you're fucking undercooking them all at once. As if I have a clue.
Yeah, mate, I used to watch it with my mum.
Yeah.
And like, you get 10 weeks in, you're like, that pastry is overworked.
Yeah, you know straight away.
Yeah. It's way too dense. What are you doing?
There was this woman on that was like an award-winning baker. She won Star Baker like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And she was taking something out of the oven. She's like, that looks done. And I was like, put it back in, you bitch.
Yeah, put it back in.
Yeah, you're not going to like that.
You don't know what you're doing. You're out of your depth.
Yeah, then
honestly.
Paul came on. I was like, I could have done with a few more.
Yeah, I knew it, Paul. I like Paul Hollywood.
Yeah.
I like his name.
It is a cool name.
What a ridiculous name.
I think it's the most pretentious thing in the history of the fucking universe that his handshake is like a fucking medal on
Means anything. Yeah. It is like setting a world record, getting a Hollywood handshake.
Why can Prue not give a handshake? What the fuck's that about?
Yeah, I just feel like Prue's not really a handshake. Like, a Prue Leith sort of kiss on the forehead.
That'd be class.
The equivalent, yeah. Is she your number one?
She's not.
Because she's like, some could argue she's replaced Mary Berry.
She has, yeah.
But not in your list. Not in
No.
the hearts of the people.
Nah, I went for the OG shout.
Yeah.
Plus, she always reminds me of like a Guess Who character with her like fucking glasses and her hair, and she's a bit mental for me.
Yeah.
What's your number 2?
My number 2, I don't know why I'm reading off this list, it's not written down here. My number 2, I'm heading over to Disney. Beauty and the Beast, Teapot.
What you're thinking behind that one, Rufus?
Look it up. Look at that thing. How curvy is that?
Fuck me, yeah.
That's crazy. She's all curve.
Literally all curve.
100% curve. She's nothing about her. I mean, she's cheeky. She's naughty. She's called Mrs. Potts, so she's a MILF.
Yeah.
And
look at them eyelashes.
So underrated. Wonderful eyelashes. Really long and luscious.
Yeah.
I imagine there'd be a lot of... Kate Moss asked her for tips about those eyelashes. She looks good.
She's like one of the only...
And she never ages because she's a pretend teapot.
That's always a benefit.
She will never leave. It's an eternal prime for her.
I feel like it's one of the only cases
She's
where...
like LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, the older she gets, the more points she scores. It's incredible.
It's one of the only people where if you're getting a suck job, you would choose the nose over the mouth.
Yeah.
That technically is her nose, isn't it?
I don't know. I would love to discover the internal anatomy of a teapot, but I've yet to... wow.
She's aged well.
She's great. She's like if an elephant was crockery.
Who the fuck's that? Is that her son or her husband or...
I'll forget about him. I'll replace him.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have to look at that. She's going to be a real fucking dominatrix sort of character. Are you happy enough for that?
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
The more pictures we see, the more I'm regretting not putting her at number 1, to be honest. Speaking of, your number 1, Aidan?
My number 1 is Lor Kelly.
Lor Kelly.
Let me get up a photo. Fucking daytime TV royalty.
The only problem with this is that's not questionable at all.
Is it not? Yeah, it probably isn't. But my reasoning might be
just a really basic answer.
Yeah.
That's just a normal crush.
Yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah.
The thing is, I feel like you've brought in Richard Hammond, and I asked for Jeremy Clarkson. You know what I mean? Like, that's not that weird. She's actually just quite a good-looking sort of woman.
Yeah, no, you're right. My main reason was she just seemed like she would make a fucking great cup of tea.
I agree. And you've gone very sort of mum with your...
Yeah.
There's something a bit weird about it.
It's just, I didn't want to just pick the fucking usual ones that everyone does.
I thought Margaret Thatcher was going to be in there for sure.
Nah, she can fucking rot in hell.
Yeah, but like, there's something you
any.
quite like about her. Like, yeah, she shut down the mines, but there's something a bit sort of naughty about it.
There's not a single inch of me that could ever find anything she has ever done
Yeah, but that's why it's so exciting, you know?
No.
It's subversive.
No, I'm not. I can't comment on that any further.
My number 1. Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh, was that fucking Epstein's woman?
Oh, yeah.
Is she questionable? Her name doesn't sound it.
Good luck spelling that. Oh, you smashed it. I thought you were gonna have, because you had a problem with LaLa earlier. So.
Well, I can't fucking see.
She's objectively, I mean, she looks like a science teacher. Let's be real.
I feel like this is bordering on the Lor Kelly incident from earlier.
What are you talking about? She's not fit at all. I'm trying to argue up my point by making her seem uglier than she is, and I now sort of I realise she's actually, yeah. She looks, her and Jeffrey look very happy together, by the way.
Yeah, they do. But like it's the same with Lorraine. I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking looks. I was thinking she's years of daytime TV under her belt. She'd
I
be a
do
good
have
morning
I
person.
do have a backup number one.
Who is it?
I thought this might happen. I thought we might be like, there's nothing too questionable about that. Can you look up Numberjacks?
Yeah.
Can't remember which number it is.
I'll tell you what number it is.
7. 7 is so hot.
I'm going 8, whether it's a man or a woman.
That's a bloke.
Nah, I don't know.
That's a chubby bloke. 8's a chubby bloke, whereas 7 is a sleek, sexy woman.
Yeah, 1's like a bit of a stick figure type creature.
I imagine 1 is like a sort of very short, stocky man.
No, I'm thinking like, you know, like people that are built like the letter P. Like that's a woman with no ass. This is getting ridiculous. What about
I
him?
think the 7... I'm sorry, listeners, you can't see that, but
what other cartoons is there?
the bloke from Numberjacks is so butters. He should have made our list. That's questionable. But yeah, I think the 7 from Numberjacks for me
Yeah.
really does it. That's my number one.
What do you call the woman from... This was another one that I was thinking.
How clean is your house? That's a great one. The woman, Kim Woodburn.
She'd just keep the place looking grand, and you know what? She's got a... She's sort
Mate,
of...
you've done top 3 cleaners. That's what you've handed in. What is that? Mother Teresa. You've
Also,
done top 3 people to leave your house spick and span. That's what you've
I
done.
kind of like the gloves, to be honest. They're doing something to me.
See, that's a great answer because we both replaced our number ones.
With someone actually
7
questionable.
from Numberjacks and how clean is...
I imagine the fucking dirty talk would be absolutely
Who do you
filth.
think's hotter, Big Cook or Little Cook?
That's fucking both of them there.
She does look like Big Cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Everyone has an aunt that kind of looks a bit like Harry Potter. And she's one of them.
I actually do. Do I? I don't know.
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
She sadly passed away.
Yeah, she kicked the bucket a few years ago.
Sorry, it's such a surreal segment. And the fact that you brought up your aunt's death as well in this context is crazy. And so, on that poignant note, we end another rambunctious episode of Radio Rufus. I hope you enjoyed top 3 questionable crushes. And I have to say, there's 2 women on How Clean Is Your House. Which one is your favourite?
I'm sticking to old yellow gloves there.
Kim Woodburn
Yeah.
on the left. Because like Aggie McKenzie is giving me eyes right now.
I was like, how the fuck do you know her name? And then I
It
realized
says it,
at the
right
top.
at the top. Yeah, yeah.
Kim Woodburn also sounds like a porn star name.
It does. You'd leave with a stinging sausage.
Also, she looks like she's about to do a bit of cleaning. She looks like she just stole a fucking spinning kebab.
She does.
Doesn't it?
She's holding a doner, mate. Yeah. Guys, if you're listening, honestly, look up, if you're listening at home, IMDb, How Clean Is Your House, and look at the display picture. She's nicked a shish kebab.
It's fucking, I don't know how she got it off with fucking without boss man brain in her.
Hey, garlic sauce and chips, please. That's absolutely awesome. So not only did she clean your house, but you can have a kebab right after. What a service. Anyway, that's another fantastic episode of Radio Rufus in the books. We'll be back with the Halloween special next week.
Yes.
Which is exactly the same as the normal show, but we're going to wear an outfit. Even though we actually do dress up every week. Believe it or
that's
not,
true.
I don't wear this out and about.
Our outfit's going to be 60s themed. Probably not.
Oh, yeah, I've just thought about the timeline of the outfits we do have planned.
Yeah.
That happened after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened in the 60s? What outfits?
You could be Martin Luther King.
There's probably a few that would have been popular at the time that we can't do now.
Oh, yeah.
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 And we're going to have to abandon that white sheet.
I thought you were a ghost.
A racist ghost.
I didn't realise that. I thought you were being a bit sort of... I thought the burning was a bit too much. But anyway, yeah. We'll see you next time. And thanks once again for listening. Thanks for the 20k subs, by the way. We never
thank you very
acknowledged
much.
that.
Yeah.
But we shouted it out like every week for months.
Trying to get it.
And then we got it.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you guys for subscribing. If you're still not subscribed, like get the tip of your tongue out and just move your mouse and then click it with the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again next time. Back to you in the studio.